We found a big issue with our motorhome, and it's something that could affect many RVers. It's an important video because this can be a big problem. It actually is a big problem, and we're going to show you how we work through it. Thanks for joining us on this DIY/troubleshooting video. If you like videos like this, take a moment, subscribe, notification bell is on. That way you know when our next video is going to come out. Here's the issue. We are now entering early spring. I go through my checklist on the motorhome, and we did a full video about checklists. We'll link it up above. During that checklist, one of the things that I do is to sanitize the fresh water tank. Now, in order to sanitize the fresh water tank, we have to put the sanitizing solution into the fresh water tank, and I'm going to show you how that's done. If you walk with me over here, you can see this is the bay for our water pump and the siphoning tube. So the solution would go here, tube in, flip the valves, and then turn on the pump. Put this valve over here. This will go over to the tank. The pump will suck in the solution. Solution will go into the freshwater tank, and then we run it through the system, and we did a full video on that. We'll link it up above. But here's the problem that we found, or that I found, is that that pump is not working. And it's something that's different, and it's not the pump. If you look right here, this is one of 3 switches that we have throughout the motorhome. We have the switch in the wet bay, we have a switch in the kitchen, and we have a switch in the bathroom. This switch, when I flip like this, that light's supposed to go on, and if it's not up to pressure, that water pump is supposed to kick on. But you notice the water pump didn't go on, and the switch didn't turn on. So there is a problem. We have no water pump working. I promise you, we do have an answer to this. You want to stay to the end of the video because I already did troubleshoot this. It took me a little bit of time, but I'm going to take you through the steps to troubleshoot this. So as you can see, there's obviously no power. Something is going on there. So the first thing that came to my mind, fuse, right? Whenever there's no power, there's no 12 volt, you want to check the fuse. So follow me. I'm going to show you where the fuse is for that water pump. Now I'm going to put in my secret code to the RV lock. Let's go inside.
Somebody's going to say, I saw it. I'm gonna break into your motorhome now.
We're in the bathroom. This is where our breakers and our fuses are. This is gonna be the 12 volt side. This is obviously the 120 side. So the first thing we're going to look at is, okay, where is the fuse for this? And if you look at the fuse panel description here, monitor panel and water pump is F8. It's a 10 amp fuse. Clearly labeled through Newmar, you can see there is 10. So I'm going to pull this fuse, I'm going to look at it, and the fuse is good. So we have a fuse that's good. So the next question is, okay, so is there power coming out of here? Because here's your out. Is there power coming out to where that pump is? Let me check. Now we are plugged in. Highly doubt that my chassis or house batteries are going to be down, that they're going to be voltage, because we're plugged in. So I'm going to check here. I'm going to touch, and I'll just go like a little metal here on the ground, and we are at 13.2 volts. So I know there's power at least going to where it's supposed to go. So now I have to troubleshoot a little further. I'm going to go back to the wet bay. Before I go in there, you remember I told you there's a switch in the bay, switch in the bathroom, switch in the kitchen. Switch in the bathroom's not working. Let me check the switch in the kitchen. Let's try the one in the kitchen, which is located right above the sink. Nothing. Muerto. Dead. I'm going to continue. I'm going to pull this switch and just check the connections behind it. Make sure all the connections are snug. I don't think that's what it's going to be. In fact, I know that's what it's going to be because I already resolved this issue prior to going on video. But I'm going to show you the troubleshooting steps. So I'm looking here. Everything is down. It's all snug in here. To test the power going to the back of the switch, I'll test it, try to find a place somewhere good in here. And I got 2.4 volts. So remember, we had 13.2. We're getting 2.4 to that switch, and we're going to test at the pump. But I'm going to let you know, I tested at the pump. There's nothing going to the pump. So it needs 12 volts. Now, I didn't further troubleshoot by putting 12 volts direct to that pump. I just knew that pump is relatively new. We just changed that last season. The chances of that pump being bad were minuscule, but this tells me it's only 2.4 going to here. There's more going on. So if you have an older pump, I would suggest that you test power going to the pump. Ours is a flow jet. There's 2 wires on here. The red, well, one of them is going to be your hot. I'm assuming it's the red, but test both. Just put one probe into either the red or the yellow, other one to ground, and if you're getting 12 volts to this, then you know this might be an issue with the pump. We're not getting any power over here. So what was the next step? Because at this point, I'm a little stumped. I know it's not power per se coming from inside. There's got to be something else going on.
I've never seen you so determined when you were trying to figure this out.
Well, here's the thing, because I knew this was a simple problem, and if we went to have it repaired, even though we have our extended warranty, it's a $500 deductible. It's going to cost me 50 bucks in fuel. It's going to cost me time, and it's going to cost me 500 bucks. I knew this wasn't a $500 problem. I knew this was a small problem. I just didn't know where to look. And I knew it was a problem somebody else was going to have, and I knew I wanted to do a video on it so you guys don't have to go through it. So what do? I go on the forums and I put in Newmar Baystar water pump not working. And sure enough, we had somebody with a similar issue. Hitting that light switch, the switch, no light goes on. So it came back that there is a water pump relay, which I never knew about. Started trying to look for it in the Newmar book, couldn't find it. People said to trace the wire, so that's what I did. So there's a black and yellow wire coming out of the back of the switch. So trying to trace it, I just started jiggling around and looking. And you can see on the other side by our dump, there is a yellow and black wire, and it goes into some loom. And then I see a ground here, and I'm like, wait a second, what's this? And sure enough, I started finding wires. And then look what I see here. A Storm Part Electrics LLC, and it has the part number. I look up that part number, and sure enough, that is a water pump relay. I think I found the problem. You can see there is a green and yellow light. When I hit the switch, you remember there was no light going on at the switch, but you can see there's a light going on here. So that tells me there is power coming in here, but it's not getting through, like something is not happening. So on this part, there's 4 places for wires to go. They're named power, switch, pump load, ground. You look at the white, it goes right into the chassis, right into the ground here. I'm going to check, is this on tight? Yeah, it's on tight. That's pretty good, the ground's good. What I did next was I removed the power and I tested for power. Are those 13 volts getting into this relay? Have one probe into this wire here where it says power. I'm going right to the ground. 13.3 volts. There's a problem here. So now the quest was to find that part. Here's the issue. The part that we showed you, that C-Storm, difficult to get because they have since been replaced by this one here. It's the Intelitech MPX 10 amp controller, and it looks pretty similar. But I wanted to get the original part. I would get this as a backup. I'm going to carry backup anyway because obviously this can go wrong. I suggest that you carry backup because these are really cheap. I called my friend Dave from Dave's RV Center, the owner of Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. You may remember Dave and his team because we punked everybody with the April Fool's joke. You didn't see that video, we'll link it up above, but Dave is great.
We still have people asking us, wait, I thought you got a Dutch Star, and that was what, 2 years ago?
Yes. Dave and his team are great. They're Newmar only dealers unless they have like consignments, and he stocks pretty much every Newmar part, and he knows Newmar's in and out because they've been selling them for 50 years. Call Dave up, he knew exactly what the problem was. He's like, yep, I have the part, I can get it to you in the mail, we have it in 2 days. Here it is.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. Go, if you're looking for a Newmar or just parts, call them. The owner answers the phone. He knows these things in and out. Call them, we'll put their information down below. I'm gonna swap this out, very easy. What I'm going to do, you can either take a picture or just take one plug out at a time and plug it in the same. This is gonna be an exact match, and then I'm gonna test it again. So everything is connected as it was before. I'm not gonna unscrew anything until I test it. So come over here, hun. Let's go over by the light in here, and let's test it out. Light is on.
That's a beautiful sound.
Go over by the pump. Let's confirm that that pump is working.
There it is.
Only held on by 2 screws. Simply remove the screws, swap it out, make sure everything's tightened down. Again, make sure that that ground is good. I'm gonna loom everything up again, and we're good to go. And there it is, the whole process. Really, what took me the longest was finding where the relay was and like what was causing this. But just by doing this simple test, you start narrowing down. You start with something big and then you cut it down. The most obvious first, the fuse, and then go from there. Really important, carry a multimeter. Anybody remember Radio Shack? You know how old this is? This is probably 25 years
Yeah,
old.
they haven't been around in years.
It's still work. I wonder if it's made in the USA. It might be. Actually, it's made in China, but it's still, and it's UL listed, so it's a good one. Multimeter, carry it. Extra parts, carry it. Again, we're going to put the link down below to Dave's RV Center. However, if he doesn't have that part and you want to just carry an extra backup, this is the other one. We'll put this. We got this right on Amazon. I think it was 50 bucks. Check that out. Always important to carry tools. Always important to try to understand what's going on with your RV. And more important, go through the checklist, because our first trip going out, we have no hookups. We will be on our freshwater tank, and can you imagine, we have a trip, long day, we flip that on and oh crap, nothing works. That's why it's really important to get those pre-season checks, run through all the systems. In the comments below, we want you to share what are some issues that you picked up on the pre-season check. Also, tell us some of your adventures, your on-the-road repairs that you had to make and you saved the day for you and your family. We want to know it. Of course, our viewers want to know it, because this is how we share information. This is how I found out what this problem could be, is because of RVers. We love to share things. If you like videos like this, to the left of us, we'll put our RV DIYs playlist, we'll put our RV newbies playlist, and for myself and MJ, to Journey of a Lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.